Welcome to the channel, Scott's Garage HTX. Don't forget the HTX, and I'm kind of freaking out. I have less than a couple days before my first track event, and I do not have this bike track ready. Things like wheels and slicks, smears, brake lights, taping this up. I also want to put some of these guards on the radiators itself. But really what I'm freaking out over is I do not have a 55 millimeter 12-point socket to get the rear wheel off. Now I ordered it and I had it FedExed over to my shop, which was supposed to be there at 4:30 today per their commitment. And FedEx so that's why I cannot put the rear slick on this bike. Hopefully I get it tomorrow. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a late night. And yes, I'm going to be a bit of a geek like I always am, and I'll weigh the front tires, the slicks versus the street tires, and see what the difference are. And we'll do the same for the rear. And you know, I do that geeky stuff. If you've seen this channel before, you'll notice I'll do those things. I'm going to start with the front wheel. We can just get started. Well, I do have my computer over here with the shop manual on it, and it says the first thing to do is take the cat's eye off. Well, I've already got that off. And take the caliper off. We'll take the caliper off. I should have, when I bought this pit bull stuff, and this stuff is great, basically, I should have gotten the hangers for the calipers. I think it was an extra such and such dollars. I don't know what it was, but hindsight, it probably been worth it. But since I'm a gym rat and I have these, dumbbells that I have that are selectable, the large part of the dumbbells is going to be my table where I put my caliper. Smarter than an average bear. Well, we haven't seen if it works yet, but let's find out. Yes, I already loosened them. You guys catching that? Next is the wheel nut. It's over on that side with the washer. One thing I will say about these calipers, be very careful taking them off the disc because it's a close fit and you can scratch the wheel. It's a nice wheel. Now, yes, I have pretty much loosened, well, I thought I loosened it, the nut over here. Yeah. And the washer. That comes off relatively easy. And now, got to take and loosen the bolts underneath the shocks themselves. I don't think you need to take those out, just need to loosen them, I think. Yeah, I loosened those too. One of them was really loose already though. I mean, geez. Let's say we just push over here, slide it this way. Yep, comes right out. Well, that wasn't bad. Okay, let's do the street tire first. And it is kind of heavy, but slicks are heavy too. So I don't know if the difference between the weight of the street tire and the slick and the steel rim or aluminum rim, whatever it is, and carbon fiber rim are going to make too much of a difference. That was what? $24.64. And the slick, oh, I gotta start working out. $22.04 for a little more than 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds. Hey, isn't there supposed to be axle grease on the axle shaft? Like, I don't see anything. And I bought a whole bunch of this stuff. I'm just gonna like cake it on there. Never have that problem again, right? That's the way to solve that. Not really. Okay, but I will reverse this and get the slick put on. Work with me here. Now, I have greased the axle shaft according to what I felt was an adequate amount of grease, giving my vast experience with working on Ducatis. Yeah, and the large or long spacer is on the right, and the small spacer is on the left. And now I'm going to try to thread this through without any trouble. So far, so good. Oh wait, we need to tighten the nut, but not to the specified torque yet, because there's a procedure we have to go through. Before we do the procedure, we got to put the calipers back on. I'm going to skip over that, and then we'll get to the procedure. We'll just jump to that. Yeah. We also skipped over how I put the wheel on backwards and had to undo all that stuff and put the wheel back on correctly. If you were having a keen eye, you would have saw me do that, and you probably going, oh, that's wrong. I stepped away and looked at it and went, oh, that's wrong. Fudge. The procedure to seat this correctly goes as such. Oh, and I tightened down the calipers 45 Nms. Hold on to the brake pedal while you're doing that and torque those 4 bolts down on the calipers. To seat this wheel correctly, the directions say to tighten down the 4 bolts on the bottom of the suspension to 6 Nms, which my torque wrench doesn't even go down that low. And that's not much at all. I'm gonna do it by feel. Then tighten up the wheel nut to 63 Nms, lower the bike, or loosen the bolts that you just previously torqued, lower the bike, push up and down on the suspension, and then retorque these bolts. That's supposed to seat, make sure the front wheel's seated correctly. I'd look at it right now and it looks fine, but we're going to go do that anyway. And now loosen those back up. And now tighten them back up. And you're supposed to do this, and I just realized why. You're supposed to do this 1, 2, and then back to 1. Because when you tighten one side up and go to the other side gets a little bit looser. Well, I think I just did the front wheel. Hopefully I get my socket for the rear, and we'll pick that up tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Yep, just step on that rear brake. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Yeah. That is on there. I think 230 NMs. That's 170 foot-pounds of torque. That nut's on there. And it's probably on tighter than that from the factory. Well, obviously it's the next day. I was afraid I was going to use some compressed air to get that off, and I didn't want to do that. I don't think this tool is designed to do that. And even using that breaker bar, that thing's on there really tight, and I even damaged the tool itself. You can tell it's bent a little bit here. So that's really on there tight. There's a retaining clip that is holding the nut on from slipping off. Then the nut, there should be a spacer and then a washer. And we'll pull this off, weigh the 2 different wheels, and then, yeah, there we go. We've got the spacer and then the washer. We'll put that off to the side. Let's weigh these and then get the slick on. The street tire weighs 2486. Anybody writing this down? Weighs 2204. You know, well, 5 pounds. You say it's 5 pounds. Now to put it all back together, I'm going to put some grease on it. Do not get grease on my bike. I don't see any scoring anywhere on it. So I'll just use some of this stuff. Looks like it has enough grease on it already. This stuff's supposed to be really good. Wheel on. Now I'm going to need help putting it back on, getting this thing to torque. How high does my torque wrench go to? That's the question. Keep going. Yep, I got 230, so I can do it. Well, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. And let's see. Wow. Can't believe I got that done. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Well, that wasn't half bad. Matter of fact, it wasn't really bad at all. I was expecting a lot worse. And as luck would have it, I just got the axle shaft, the holes in the axle shaft and the slots in the nut here just aligned, I believe perfectly, that I can get the spring retention clip on through its hole, no problem. So that is a bonus, and that was just pure luck. Oops, done on that side. Yeah, that was luck. This will probably air after my track day because I have no time to edit this video. It's late and I have to take off tomorrow morning, and I have a meeting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning on something else. You guys keep on keeping on. Be sure to catch part 2 of the track prep where I do the tail light, the taping of the lights, which I'll probably skip over. That's kind of boring. And the removal of the mirrors, because I do have, wait, the Ducati little spacers or covers for the mirrors when I remove them. You guys keep on keeping on. We'll catch you next time.